Lately, I've been reading up a bit on the concept of games as a service, as well as some of the psychology of what interests gamers in particular games. I believe that a part of why Titanfall 2 isn't doing as well as it could be doing is affected by not taking advantage of tools from these toolboxes. Let's discuss. Here's the deal, I'm just going to focus on a single point in this commentary. If you guys want to hear more, I'll expand a bit more on a series of other related topics in other videos relating to both Titanfall and other games as well. Something a lot of other popular games do very well, FPS or not, is the concept of dangling a carrot in front of their players. In Blizzard games, there are many carrots at the same time. One carrot for cosmetics, one carrot for daily challenges, another carrot for ranked matchmaking. These games do a great job of making you feel like these carrots are achievable, that they're catchable within a reasonable amount of playtime, and that they're never too difficult to get. And they do indeed work this way. You've got a constant stream of loot boxes and free currency to work towards the cosmetics that you want, with the option to pay real money for somebody else to bring the carrot to you instead. If you don't like the look of the figurative carrot that represents your daily challenge, you can mulligan for a different carrot that might be more appealing to you instead. Ranked play has a wide variety of ranks available, and with third-party tools, you can watch your MMR grow over time. While you can never catch the entire carrot here in relation to ranked play, you're consistently able to catch up just enough to get a small bite of it before it slips ahead of you once again. Because these carrots are catchable, because they're achievable, you always get that repeated sense of accomplishment, that sense of achievement, that just sense of joy in catching the carrot. To say it another way, there's multiple ways that Blizzard games continuously keep you returning without ever overwhelming you with challenge or difficulty. Other games like Paladins and Warframe include daily login bonuses as a separate type of carrot entirely, which are a nice way to at least get you to launch the client every single day, whether or not you actually play. Maybe when you click that play button, you're going to see a news update about the game that you otherwise would never notice. Maybe you'll even play a match because, well, why not? You're already there. Might as well spend 5 minutes. These games attract you to enter. They provide a carrot right on the enter button, right on the play button, then continue to attract you to at least put a little bit of time into the game every single day. Cosmetics in Titanfall 2 are, to a lot of players, boring at best, with only a few select options really being very attractive. The best ones, which are like Stoic Black, or pretty much any of the Stoic colors, people really seem to like those, and then War Paints are all challenge gated, they're all progression gated. They're not advocate gift gated or currency gated. And while I do personally think that this is a great thing and was a great decision on their part, at the same time you have to realize that because these things are only based on progression and there's no chance, there's no real feeling of work towards getting them, they just kind of happen over time, that they don't feel special for a lot of players, and that's not a good thing. While Titanfall 2 does have like a lot of cosmetics, like more than 99% of games out there, at least in terms of skins, it's hard to feel like you're working towards a specific one, and most of the options are very bland and boring. Prime Titans in Titanfall 2 are what other games would just call regular skins, not special deluxe $5 skins, and you can usually achieve them in other games without spending real money at all. Now, while I understand that Titanfall 2 is not a quote-unquote game as a service, and DLC has to work differently, they can't just straight up copy Warframe or copy Paladins or whatever, I think there's actually a disconnect in the expectations of the fans between what they expect to get from the game and what Titanfall is trying to be. All over the internet, I see players wondering why Titanfall 2 isn't more like service game X, Y, or Z. I've even seen some comments saying players would happily spend more money on DLC if it meant more frequent content drops for Titanfall 2. Respawn also fails to even deliver a carrot based around ranked progression or really just player progression, period. There's no ranked mode to speak of, there isn't any sort of way for a player to know if they are quote-unquote good or not, because matchmaking barely takes skill into account at all. The lack of a ranked mode means that the only goal a lot of players have is to reach Gen 10, level 50. Once that's done, and they've got their Stoic Black camo, what's left to do? They can't level up anymore, the carrots have run dry. Why should they continue playing? In my own, somewhat salty opinion, apparently a good video game is just not enough to keep players going, and they need shiny new baubles that are only barely outside their grasp in order to have consistent motivation to stick with a current game. They need constant backpats. Titanfall 2 is absolutely failing to deliver on this, and it really hasn't improved much if at all since Titanfall 1. Sure, the availability of skins is fantastic, I'm not faulting them for that whatsoever. Respawn is doing a great job, the players appreciate it, I appreciate it, but the skins are just not fun. They aren't something that you feel a personal connection to or are engaged with. However, you bet your ass that I'm engaged with my golden Zenyatta orbs and my Sunyata skin that I had to work really hard to get to buy with credits. Titanfall 2 tries to excite players with their own version of a loot box system called Advocate Gifts. This is a fantastic idea, but geez oh man, is it boring. You just get a tiny little icon that lights up on your screen when you click through a couple of menus to get to it, and all you're rewarded with is a dinky little sound effect lasting under half a second and absolutely zero fanfare for what you've just been given. Again, compare this to any other popular game with loot boxes. The opening process is fun, if not addicting. Watching that slot machine roll whenever you open a crate in CSGO is exciting. Watching the 4 coin-looking things fly out of your Overwatch loot box is cool. 5 brand new cards flying out of your Hearthstone pack, upside down and glowing with card rarity, tickles your imagination in a way that I don't really know how to explain. These things seem so simple on paper, but they're such a significant portion of what makes the biggest and most popular games out there have so much staying power, in my opinion. Let's say it another way, games as a service are here to stay, and they're the way of the future for a lot of titles out there that want to retain longevity for significant periods of time. Not all games have to become a full-on service-style game, but boy can you learn a lot from their successes. And that's really the point of it all, isn't it? Just understanding the psychology of your players and trying to exploit them whenever humanly possible. Dangle that carrot in front of your players, make a cool animation for loot boxes, make skins feel just more fun, engaging, important. Never require the player to spend money, but gently nudge them towards doing so to get rid of some of the grind and to make their lives easier. They are very busy people after all. Titanfall doesn't have to immediately adopt all of these things to become a successful game, but I do feel that appreciating why these mechanics work in other service games can really help the developers of Titanfall make a better title in Titanfall 3 that is just a little bit more enticing and attractive to players. The most common argument for why Twitch streamers have stopped supporting Titanfall 2 should not be, well, the game got boring, I reached a certain level and didn't feel like there was more for me to do, so I stopped playing. And the player base also felt the same way. They stopped watching because they stopped feeling entertained by it. You know, there is something there. There is just a small piece of the equation missing. There's just that crack cocaine that is just not sprinkled on in quite the right amount to keep players returning without getting addicted and revolting against the game. Anyways everyone, thank you all for watching, and I hope that you found this talk entertaining. Let me know your thoughts and ideas in the comment section down below, and whether or not you'd like to see me explore similar topics more in the future. I'm having fun learning about these concepts, so I hope that I can get the chance to do a few more of these videos in the future. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.